Hello AD, I'm Maria Sharapova and welcome to my home. So I've always wanted a Japanese-inspired home by the beach. You enter the home in this beautiful courtyard with this Japanese pine and a fountain that we created especially for the space. And then you enter into this double, triple height ceiling, which gives you so much air and space and light and makes you feel like you're at the beach. Well, I love homes that have an indoor and outdoor feel, and I think the light plays a big part into this home's atmosphere. In my previous home, I had a lot of colorful, a lot of greens and pinks, colors of art. And when we built this home, the walls were all concrete, and that's probably why it took so long to build, almost 3 years. And I thought that all of the art from my old home would go onto these walls, but actually the concrete itself just felt like a huge art piece in a sense. So the art in the home is very minimal. Every year I invest in a few pieces that are actual sculptures in a sense, like this French chair going back to the 1960s. This is a Japanese door that's the countertop of the table, and that is a painting by Joe Good. It changes color. In the morning shows lots of the purples, but in the evenings it's like a dark shadow and then this golden circle. You feel a different atmosphere every time you look at it, depending on the shadows that are going through the home. And everything has to work with the space. Everything's very natural. All the tones are natural, just like the colors of the house. Besides the concrete, you see the wood siding that's in this gray light tone. And now I'll show you my living room. So this is one of my favorite rooms in the home. I would say I spend a lot of time entertaining guests and all my close friends and Christmas Eve gatherings. It screams indoor-outdoor living in the summertime. All the windows are opened up and we have barbecues outside. There's nothing formal in this house, so everyone kind of goes about every room and hangs out. I didn't want any specific structure. I think you see a lot of beautiful colors and textures and layers in this room, but they all say comfort. These couches are extremely comfortable and they seat many people, and this is usually where I watch the TV from. These two pieces, they are vintage, but they are extremely comfortable to sit on. I can sit here and have endless conversations and can lay back. I think they add substance to this room, whereas the couches are more of the easy comfort living. So I usually don't have too many framed photos around the house, quite a minimalist in aesthetics. And I hadn't seen this picture of Basquiat before. I think a lot of his images were in color, and this one was just very striking in black and white. And in this image, I just feel like it's so calm, but there's so much emotion internally. And he's holding the globe, which represents, for my eyes, the world of travel, which is a huge part of my life, and I get to see different parts of the world. So this outdoor space, we host a lot of summer barbecues at. This table we custom built. It was inspired by a table I saw at a Japanese store, and I loved the shapes of it. I loved having one long bench where everyone can cozy up and then chairs around it. And we also get to close this roof, patio roof in a sense, so when it's really sunny, you have a lot of beautiful shade. There's a lot of giggling going on out here. There's a lot of rosé, a lot of great barbecues. Yeah, this is the summer spot in the house. Usually you have the pool and then a lawn and the home, but I wanted the pool really close to the home. I didn't want that lawn space in between the pool. I wanted to see the water from the kitchen. So getting it as close as possible to the home was a challenge, but we got there. So this is a little piece of lawn. It's as much lawn as we can get by the beach. And also since, like I said before, I didn't want anything formal, so we don't have actual lounge chairs. We have day beds. So this is what we lay on. We put a lot of different funky pillows out on here. That way we can all be together and we're not separated by lots of space. We also just recently installed a maple tree, which comes spring and summer, I can't wait to see it bloom. We love having a glass of wine around 5 or 6 p.m. before we go inside and finish up cooking dinner. Having the fireplace here is magical once the sunset goes down. We usually watch it upstairs and then make our way down, and we have heaters upstairs, which is a luxury add-on bonus in the home. So no matter what the temperature is, we spend quite a bit of time here. As I said, I love outdoor living. I think there's something very Californian about it. So we try to spend as much time outdoors as we possibly can. Now let's go upstairs. I had that light commissioned specifically for this space by a British artist, Gareth. I saw the lamp at a hotel and I tracked down the artist, and it was incredibly special to watch him sketch the piece specifically for this space, and we felt like it had to be a statement moment in this double ceiling height, because everything else is very tonal, and against the concrete it really popped, and at night it's the centerpiece walking down this bridge. I would say this is the most intimate and coziest room in the house, just because it's separate from everything else, and it's in a very quiet corner of the home. I don't really have a proper office in the home because I wanted everything to feel relaxed and nothing was made with a purpose, like you had to do something specific in each room. But I usually find myself here with either my phone or my computer working on all the things that need to get done. I love browsing through architectural and design coffee table books. Usually when someone gifts you a book like that, you put it on a shelf and never pick it up again. But I actually lay them out and I open different pages at different times of the day, and then you actually get a sense of what's in the book, and sometimes it inspires you to design a home. This is a vintage chair that we got reupholstered because I want it to be really super cozy, just like everything else is in this room, because it is definitely the coziest and the most popular. It's sheepskin, of course. I guess a lot of people have really liked visually when they've come up to the space, with the bamboo in the background and this Balinese bench. Even if you don't know much about architecture, I think we can appreciate a beautiful bench, and this one certainly plays the part. So this is where we make food, and I emphasize we because I rarely cook myself because I travel so much and I'm rarely home. The best part about this kitchen is that it's an open floor plan and that you're able to interact with your guests and you're mingling, and for the people that are cooking most of the time, you're not isolated from them. And that's a big part of this house, is that everyone is together. No matter what you're doing, cooking, watching a movie, you all feel like you're part of one large space. And a very natural transition from the kitchen happens to be the bowling alley. So come with me. So when I was designing this home, we wanted to do a basement, and dimensions of the property were quite long, and I ended up seeing a few different models of bowling alleys from the architects that worked on my home. And when I saw it, I was like, how amazing would it be to have a bowling alley? And I'd say it is the most surprising aspect of this home, because I'm not a bowler myself, and I occasionally come and bowl down here with a few of my friends, but it's a lot of fun, and it's very loud, and we make sure that no one's sleeping upstairs, obviously. They told me that it's like a professional alley, so that if there are any pros that want to come and bowl at my house, you know where to find me. And we have a great Chris Gwaltney painting. That was one of my first two paintings that I invested in. I think I was still a teenager, and I loved color. And there's another Chris Gwaltney here. I love the colors of this piece. I love that circle. As you see with a few of my other pieces, there's a lot of circles, which is interesting because everything else in my home is very sculptural and straight lines. But in some of the artwork, you see pictures of the sun, the moon, in circles, such as in this piece. And there's a lot of depth, and Chris Gwaltney started his career painting figures. And I think this is a work that evolves around figures, but in much more abstract composition. I think I've always loved the vision of contemporary work because you never quite know what it is, and for some people this can mean zero and you can say that your child can make it, and for others it's much more complex, and I've always found it very interesting because there's so many different meanings behind a picture like that. And Chris Gwaltney happens to be a good family friend, and I've collected his artwork since I was a teenager, so it's very special to have these featured on the bowling wall. That's it for now. Thanks, AD, for stopping by. See you soon.